Hello, amigos, and welcome to another episode of Inside the Ropes with Coach Mario. Coach Mario, owner and head coach of Warriors Pride Boxing Academy here in Miami, Florida. How you guys doing this afternoon? It's early in the week. Hope you guys had an excellent Labor Day weekend. I actually did so myself. Went to my son's wedding last week. Just got back. But everything's good here in Miami, guys. Everything's great. Listen, I wanted to make a short video. I haven't done one in English in a while now, mostly focused on my Spanish-speaking subscribers. But I wanted to talk briefly about the upcoming fight between Canelo Alvarez and Terence Bud Crawford. That's going to be next weekend. And a lot of people have been asking me, hey, Coach, what do you think of the fight? Both casual fans that watch only the great fights, or let's not call it great fights, but the fights that have been more marketed or have been promoted more than maybe your typical championship fights. This one, of course, has caught the interest of many people. Not only the casuals, but also a lot of people that know the sport. I've been asked constantly by those who know me and that know that my business, my everyday business and my life is actually focused on the sport of boxing, all right? And I'll give you my opinion, just like if you were asking me out in the street, hey, Coach, what do you think of this fight? What do you think of the Canelo fight? What do you think of the Crawford fight between, going up in weight, all these divisions, the money on Netflix, everything else? Well, I'll give you my perspective on the fight. To be honest with you, I don't think it is the great event of the decade. I don't think it's going to be a great fight. I think it's going to disappoint a lot of people. This is a fight that's going to go the distance. I truly doubt that Canelo will knock out Terence Crawford, and I'll tell you exactly why. Canelo hasn't looked his usual self, all right? He hasn't looked spectacular or great in a lot of years. He hasn't knocked anybody out. I think the last knockout he had was with Caleb Plant, if I'm not mistaken. Maybe I am wrong, but that's what I remember right from the top of my head right now. I don't have any notes in front of me. I'm just doing this off the cuff. But I believe that was his last knockout. And it's been a while, all right, since Canelo has looked sharp. He hasn't looked good against Ryder. He didn't look good against Berlanga. He didn't look good against Skull. I truly believe that if Skull would have been a little bit more active, he could have beaten Canelo Alvarez fairly easily. All right. However, here it is. It's a fight that has caught the attention of many casuals. Canelo Alvarez trying to generate as much money as he can and avoiding his mandatory for a long time, his mandatory David Benavidez, who actually had to go up in weight because Canelo refuses to fight him. We all know why. Canelo Alvarez has been afraid of David Benavidez and his skill set and his abilities. And in my opinion, Mexican fans, true Mexicans fans of the sport, knowledgeable fans of the sport that have been following the legends of Salvador Sanchez, Julio Cesar Chavez, all the greats, Juan Manuel Marquez, Barrera, Morales, all these other fighters who actually fought the best have been disappointed of the excuses and the constant contradictions of the Canelo camp, all right? As you all know, Canelo has been avoiding Benavidez for so many years that It is boggles the mind how people still support this fighter. You know, and I think that most of the people that really support him are people that are casuals, people that do not know the sport that much. A lot of Mexican American fans, and these people, most of them can't even speak Spanish. They don't know the real culture of Mexico. They do not know the language. They do not know the history of the sport of boxing in Mexico. And if you ask somebody that's born in Mexico, let's put it that way, somebody that's born in Mexico has been and is knowledgeable of the sport of boxing, about the career of Canelo Alvarez, they'll tell you all kinds of stuff about Canelo. They're not satisfied with Canelo. They think he is more of a businessman than a true champion. And that's the way I see him, actually. I do not consider Canelo to be the best Mexican fighter ever. I think he's accomplished a lot of things by choosing and picking his fights, having the same advantage and weight advantage that he has against Terence Crawford now. And Terence Crawford just wants to get one big payday before he retires. All right, that's my opinion. Will it be a good fight? I truly doubt it. I don't think it's going to be a great fight. Crawford wants to sell the fight, and so those Canelo, they want to make all that money. But it's going to be a boring fight, in my opinion. It's not going to be a great fight. You heard it here in Inside the Ropes with Coach Mario. I'm telling you, this is going to remind you of that fight between Floyd Mayweather and Manny Pacquiao. That was a boring fight, a crappy fight. And this is going to be more or less the same. Hopefully, it's going to be a little bit better. But there's not going to be any great highlights, in my opinion. I think Bud is going to hit and move, and Canelo's going to be trying to stalk him. Canelo can't cut off the ring. He's super slow. He's going to be throwing those hard punches all night. He's going to gas out at the end. We're going to see some swing rounds there. But who knows what's going to happen as far as decision. I believe that most people will actually bet that Canelo will win the fight, the decision of the judges. You know how that works. But I would really be surprised if this fight ends by a knockout. I would really be surprised if the judges give Terence Crawford the decision, the nod, after a close fight. Let's put it that way. Not a hard fight, but a close fight. So Canelo is fighting somebody that started his professional career at 135. So he's moving up 6 weight classes, Bud Crawford, to fight a guy that's fighting at 168, will probably go into this fight weighing 185 pounds. You know, the hypocrisy of Canelo is so great when he talks about Benavidez, when he talks about Bivol, when he talks about all these other fighters, saying that when he goes against them, they have this huge advantage and weight over him. He's been pulling this shit on a whole bunch of smaller fighters all his career. Yet, you know, it's okay for him to get away with that, but it's not okay when he's moving up in weight and fighting a bigger opponent, all right? So, again, guys and gals, I truly think this fight is not going to be the great spectacle a lot of people are hoping for. I really think this is going to be, like I just said, stick and move for Crawford. Canelo trying to pursue Crawford, trying to cut off the ring, which he is known to lack the ability of doing so, throwing those haymakers all night, trying to connect Crawford. Again, it's not going to be a knockout. There's not going to be a knockout. It's going to be a decision. Again, I would be surprised if they give the decision to Crawford, but I would love to see that. Who am I rooting for? I'm rooting for Crawford because I dislike Canelo so much, as you all know. I dislike a fighter that is so blatantly cowardly avoided to fight the top contender in his division. Back in my day, guys, the best fought the best. This guy is not the best. He's been picking and choosing smaller opponents and had an advantage over other opposition, good opposition, for most of his career. He's a marketing product, all right? So, there you go, guys. That's my opinion. Terence Crawford versus Canelo Alvarez will not be a great fight. Terence Crawford versus Canelo Alvarez, not the fight of the decade. Nowhere close. It's going to be a boring fight. Pot-shotting Crawford. A slow ass, no footwork Canelo pursuing, throwing haymakers. That is going to be the theme of this fight in a few weeks. Don't call me a hater. I'm just telling you how I see it. I'm telling my casual fans, when I tell them this, they open their eyes. Oh, coach, what are you talking about? This is going to be a great fight. I said, no, it's not. Oh, Canelo's going to knock out Crawford. You'll see. All right, guys. Just watch in a couple of weeks. All right? And what I'm telling you is what I think is going to happen. I can be wrong, but I don't see a knockout. I see it going the distance. I see it a boring fight. A boring fight. I hope I am wrong. I would love to see Crawford put it on this fraud that we call the great Mexican champion. He is not a great Mexican champion. He's a fraud, in my opinion. He has been able to work the system just like Mayweather did. All right? He's used that blueprint in order to make as much money as he has. He's an arrogant individual that has forgotten his roots and the pride of being a great, legendary, hard-fought Mexican warrior. He's forgotten the people that came before him, how much they achieved, how much they fought in order to put Mexico as one of the greatest countries in the world of boxing. Well, anyway, guys, that is my opinion. Again, if you disagree with me, I'd like to hear what your comments are. I don't know if you think Crawford is going to be able to outbox Canelo, or Canelo is going to be able to knock down Crawford, or who's got the advantage here. Obviously, it's Canelo because of his weight. This guy didn't look good. Crawford did not look good against Madrimov at 154. So imagine 168. Canelo is going to be fighting at 180, 185 easily that night. You know, guys, it is not an even fight, in my opinion. So, again, Canelo is getting away with his ways. Let's put it that way. The WC refuses to strip Canelo of his title by not facing the number one contender for so many years. So, you know, it's all a scam, guys. This is a marketing ploy. It's a show and a circus sideshow. That's the way I see it. Will I watch it? Definitely. I will definitely watch the fight. There's probably nothing else that night, but I think I'm not going to be disappointed because I know what I'm expecting, but a lot of you are going to be very disappointed of this fight. Anyway, guys, this is all I have for now. This is Coach Mario, owner and head coach of Warriors Pride Boxing Academy, saying hasta la vista. God bless you all, and peace.